Have you ever noticed your EV loses range during winter? One day your dashboard says 300 kilometers, and on a cold morning it suddenly drops to 220 kilometers. You might wonder, is my battery getting damaged or is there something else going on? In this video, I'm going to explain the real reasons behind winter EV range loss, show you how much range you can actually lose, and share simple tips to minimize the effect. No myths, just clear science and real-world examples. EVs use lithium-ion batteries, and these batteries rely on chemical reactions inside each cell to produce power. In warm weather, these reactions happen efficiently, so the battery delivers full range. But when it's cold, chemical reactions slow down, meaning the battery cannot produce energy as efficiently. This is why your car suddenly shows fewer kilometers. It's not broken, it's just temporarily less efficient. This is a natural property of lithium-ion batteries and happens to all of them, even in your phone or laptop. The second factor is energy use. In winter, your EV doesn't just move the car forward, it also has to heat the cabin, the seats, the steering wheel, defrost the windows, and sometimes even the battery itself. Unlike petrol cars, which reuse engine heat, EVs rely entirely on battery power for heating. That extra energy use directly reduces the distance your car can travel. Real-world data from EVs in countries with cold winters shows that range can drop by 20 to 30% in freezing temperatures, and in extremely cold conditions, it can drop even further. But here's the key. This loss is temporary. Once the weather warms up, your EV's range returns closer to normal levels. Modern EVs are also equipped with battery thermal management systems. These systems actively heat or cool the battery to keep it within an optimal temperature range. This not only helps performance in winter, but also protects the battery from long-term damage. So, range drop in winter does not mean your battery is permanently degrading. In fact, studies show that average battery degradation is around 2 to 3% per year, mostly caused by usage and time, not winter conditions alone. Now let's talk about how you can minimize winter range loss. First, always precondition your EV while it is plugged in. Preconditioning warms up the battery and the cabin using grid electricity instead of battery energy. This improves performance right from the start. Second, if possible, park your EV indoors or under a covered area to reduce exposure to freezing temperatures. Third, when driving, use seat heaters instead of the full cabin heater whenever possible, since they consume less energy. Fourth, try to keep your battery above 20% during extremely cold days. Running very low in cold weather reduces efficiency even more. Finally, consider planning your trips with realistic range expectations in winter. It's better to charge more often than to push the battery to its limits. Remember, every EV behaves slightly differently, so always check your car's manual for manufacturer-specific recommendations. This video is for educational purposes only. Battery performance can vary depending on your EV model and the conditions you drive in. Following the official guidelines from your manufacturer is always the safest approach. Have you noticed range drop in winter with your EV? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to know how much your range drops and what tips you use to manage it. And if this video helped you understand your EV better, consider subscribing to the channel for more simple and practical EV explanations. Because understanding how your technology works doesn't just satisfy curiosity, it helps you make smarter driving decisions and get the most out of your EV. I'll see you in the next video.